Theoretically, everyone's vote counts. However, of course, people have to be eligible to vote, by which I mean they must be over the age of 18, they must not be a convicted felon, and they must be registered to vote within their district. The reality of it, the situation is that certain people's votes count a little more than others. In this particular election, what we're going to see is that white votes are going to be distributed across the two candidates in terms of poor, uneducated, and rural white voters voting for Donald Trump, whereas more educated middle-class voters are going to be voting for Hillary Clinton. Trump's electorate is largely going to consist of poor, rural, uneducated white men. These are voters who are coming from an uneducated background, who would be concerned about immigration and terrorism, as well as concerns for their own well-being economically. Hillary Clinton has appealed to a much more educated class of individuals who will be voting for her because of her policies that are more friendly to Americans, broadly speaking, and in particular women on gender issues.
Well-educated workers are getting richer, and poor educated workers or unskilled workers, their incomes, real incomes are just stable and have leveled off. And a lot of these poorer workers feel disenfranchised. And since 2000, 5 million manufacturing jobs have been lost in the US. That's a third of every job in 2000 in manufacturing is now gone. And it's also worth bearing in mind that most of these losses have occurred in these so-called swing states, which are critical to the election. Like, for example, in the last election, Obama won Pennsylvania just by 300,000 votes, which is really nothing in the context of a population of over 300 million. So all Trump needs is a big turnout of these disenfranchised workers to basically carry him over the line in these swing states, and he's won the election.
This is an election where the most extreme kind of radical right-wing politics are treated as the norm. It is just taken almost for granted. This kind of what I'm calling a moral collapse is, I think, one of the greatest dangers that can afflict a democracy, and it is something that is caused by and also causes other kinds of moral failings elsewhere in the system. For example, failings in the media, which just seems completely unable or unwilling to take seriously the job of policing what candidates say, of holding them accountable when they say things that are not simply false but demonstrably crazy. And without these kinds of lines being respected, it does not give one confidence about the continued success of a democracy.
America is a major emitter of greenhouse gases and needs to be a leader in solving the problem. A Trump presidency, a known climate skeptic, will signal to the world that the United States does not intend to act seriously on, for example, the 2015 Paris Agreement. A Republican-led Congress in conjunction with a Republican presidency will lead to significant barriers to comprehensive climate legislation in the United States.